Hi, I'm Pete from A Suit That Fits, and this is How to Wear a Suit. So we're going to be using my colleague here, David, as our model today. The first thing you should be looking at for a good, well-fitting suit is the shoulders. So correct shoulder width should really just finish exactly where your shoulders finish. So as you can see here on David, the shoulder width isn't too wide, and you'll notice that if the shoulder pads start to bow over the edge of the shoulder. And they're also not too narrow, which you would also notice when you can start to see the deltoid muscle coming out, so bowing out underneath the sleeve head roll. So these are dead on. This is the sort of width you're looking for a good shoulder on a jacket. Next thing you want to be thinking about is the chest and the waist. So these should be snug but still elegant. There is a tendency these days to have things that are very, very tight, although this actually won't make for a particularly good looking suit. So how you can tell that it actually fits is it's snug, but there is a little bit of space in there. So there is room to grow, but there's also room for movement. As you can see here, I've just fastened the top button up on David's jacket. On a 2-button, you should only ever fasten the top button, never the bottom. And on a 3-button, you should only really ever fasten the middle button rather than any of the other buttons, the top button or the bottom button. The reason for this is because the slimmest part of a man's torso is their natural waist, and in a 2-button jacket, the top button is set to be there. So if it's clinched in, it will make you look the slimmest you possibly can in a jacket. Next, we'll be looking at the jacket length. The jacket length, ideally for a classically cut suit, should finish theoretically where the inseam of your trouser ends, so basically the bottom of the crotch seam. Oftentimes this will fall somewhere between the thumbnail and the top of the thumb on a person's hands if their hands are idly at their side. Another way to be able to tell a good jacket length is if we turn around. The jacket back should finish where the hamstrings meet the buttocks in the back. So essentially it's cutting off where the torso becomes the legs, should be where the jacket back sits. So moving on to the sleeves, correct sleeve length should really run all the way from the shoulder to the break of the wrist. Now the break of the wrist is where the thumb bone meets the wrist bone. It's just about there, and that's about the length that your sleeves should be on your jacket. Also, you should really show 1/4 to 1/2 inch of shirt sleeve out the end of your cuff, much like you can see here on David's suit. Next thing we're going to look at is the trouser waist. Again, depending on your body shape, you may want to wear the trousers with what's known as a high rise, so higher up on the waist, and some customers might want them lower, so a lower rise trouser waist. But wherever you do tend to wear them in terms of comfort, you really want to be able to fit a finger in the waistband without it being too snug. Lastly, trouser length. A good trouser should run down to the shoe with a single break in the front. So in this case, you can see the break here in David's trouser. He's wearing Chelsea boots, but with standard shoes, you should be able to see at least a lace or two of your shoes if your trousers are the correct length. Now if you'd turn for me, please. In the back, you really want to be seeing the back of the trouser sitting at 1/4 to 1/2 inch above the heel of the shoe for a properly fitted pair of trousers. And that is how to wear a suit.